No, that's a lousy excuse. You go and get on the phone and tell Hippophacus that if he doesn't come down here, I'm going to send pestilence up to make his Cyclops sick. Seriously, does he seriously know who we are? What do you mean he doesn't like coming underground? He lives on the Mount Etna. You go, he's not bumping us. You go and get him on the phone and tell him to come down here and fix that furnace. Tell him. And I'll send you up to do it personally. Yes. Hello. We're still having a little trouble with our heating down here. So I've got my winter coat on. I don't usually wear it down here because it's a bit warm, but I usually wear it when I go topside and visit my mother because it's usually pretty cold until I turn up. She usually has a bit of a frost on. But it's cold down here, and my stupid brother bumped us on the list. I'm going to kill him. I am. I'm totally going to kill him. But that's not what you're here for. You're not here for that. You are here to hear about the tragedy of Coriolanus. Now this isn't really a play that most people see a lot. In fact, I was really surprised that the Milwaukee family players actually had it in their repertoire. I was really impressed. It's not a play that most people know. It's one of the Roman plays. And most of the Roman plays that people know are Julius Caesar and Antony and Cleopatra. And we'll get to those. But today we're going to have a look at Coriolanus. And Coriolanus is from the early Roman period. It's from the early Senate and the early Republic, not the later period that we're used to with Caesar and Cleopatra. And so, or even later when you get to Titus Andronicus. I will do Titus Andronicus. Yes, it's just a matter of getting the Milwaukee family players to do it. They don't like doing that one. So, Coriolanus. Coriolanus is the title that Caius Marcius earns. Caius Marcius is a great Roman general, and he's very known for being this enormous, terrifying warrior. He's a bit like my cousin brother Ares, you know, god of war. Yeah, so he's not exactly the brightest spark, and he's not exactly the most personable, but he's a really great warrior. So that's Caius Marcius. Now, the ordinary people in Rome are all upset because they think that the patricians are hoarding grain. Now, they are demanding representation, and they are just being riotous plebs because, well, they're plebs. That's what plebs do. So they're rioting, and Menneus, who is a senator, comes out and tries to calm them down, which he does do reasonably well. But then Caius Marcius comes out, and Caius Marcius is rude, and Caius Marcius is basically he's a big braggart. Well, actually he's not a braggart. You can't say that he's a braggart, but he doesn't think. He thinks like a general. He doesn't think like a senator. He doesn't think you need to appease people. If I have rank, I therefore should be obeyed. Duh, that's how it works. Much like I am goddess, you should worship me. You know, it's the logic of the situation. So Caius Marcius goes and tells them off, and the people don't like him. They think that everything he has done is not for Rome, but for his mother. He has a smother. I can tell you all about Smothers. I think I have told you about Smothers, but he has a smother. I understand this person. So they complain about him, but the word comes that they are heading off to war. And so Caius Marcius is really happy because he loves to go to war. This is the thing that he knows how to do. So he goes off, and they are going to war against the Volscians. And the Volscians are another Italian tribe. So this is before Rome has even conquered all of Italy. And the Volscians are very pleased. The Volscian general is very pleased to hear that one of the generals coming to fight him is Caius Marcius, because this will be a good fight. It will be a great fight if Caius Marcius is fighting. So both of them are very pleased to be out to war. Meanwhile, back in Rome, Volumina, who is Caius Marcius's mother, is trying to comfort his wife, Vigilia, who is very upset and worried about her husband coming back from, whether her husband will come back from the wars, and she has determined she's not going to leave the house until he does. And Voluma says that this is silly, and that everything he does is all, she is so proud of it, and even if he died, that she would be so terribly, terribly proud of everything he does. And he knows this. He knows that this is how she feels, and that this is why he is so great. Vigilia will not be convinced of this, but is finally persuaded to go out with a friend and Mina. Meanwhile, Caius Marcius is at war, and he is so far in the thick of fighting that the other soldiers have left him in fear, and he has gone on alone. He has gone alone into the battle, and he has fought. He has fought Aufidius, the Volscian general. He has fought Aufidius, and he has fought off a huge army single-handedly. He is all covered in blood and injuries, but he is victorious. Aufidius has fled, and the Romans have won their victory. Having won their victory, the other general labels Caius Marcius Coriolanus, conqueror of Corias. So he is now referred to as Coriolanus. This great honor that is set before him, but he doesn't like people to be saying things about him like this. He's very embarrassed to be given this title. He did what he had to do, no more, no less. He did what it is in his nature to do. Really, he's very like Achilles. Achilles, the great, that my cousin, I think. He's a demigod. He's not really a god. He doesn't really count. He's a hero because he is mortal. But he does have a goddess as a mother. He is this great warrior too. About all he can do is stupid lughead. He's down here somewhere, not happy. Not happy at all. Maybe he should have stayed home, lived to be an old man. But anyway, that's beside the point. So Coriolanus comes back from the wars, and he is praised in the Senate, but he finds this really, really embarrassing. And his mother and his wife are very happy to see him back, and his mother would like to see him become consul. The Senate is also quite happy for him to become consul, except for two people, the tribunes, who are the representatives of the people, the plebs. Now, Coriolanus does not like talking in public, and he certainly doesn't like talking about himself in public, but his mother has her heart set on him being consul, so he will do it for her. And one of the jobs of being consul, or one of the ways to be elected as consuls, you have to wear a really humble garb and stand and ask for the people's votes. This is not in his nature. Not in his nature at all. And he goes and he does this, and he does it, yes, 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 voice, vote, vote, vote. And he gets it, but he's kind of rude about it. And when the tribunes go and talk to the people and say, well, did you talk to him? Did he do these things that he said he would do? They say, no, it's actually he was a bit rude to me. You know, this is where a monarchy really helps, because you don't have to deal with any of this kind of crap. Ugh, the people, schmoozing people. Ugh, people are not for schmoozing. People are for groveling and fearing and generally adoring you. But then again, I'm a goddess, so, you know, that's just goes with the territory. They are not for, like, you know, wooing. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Honestly, if you can be a king, be a king. You can be a queen, be a queen. Be a goddess, be a goddess. Having to be a politician, ugh. Too hard, too hard. He's in over his head because he cannot seduce anybody. God knows how he got a wife. Obviously, he has a hot bod. Scarred bod, but hot bod. So, they stir it up and they throw this back at him, and his reaction is bad. He's bad. He's vicious and nasty and tells them off. But they can't, and so he pisses them all off. And his mother and his friend Menelaus tell him he has to, you know, tone it down, go apologize, be nice, be nice. Be nice, possibly the worst possible words you could use to a general. Not going to work. But he does. He tries again for his mother, his dreadful smother. Now, if his mother had any care as to what her son was like, she would not push him into doing these things. Meanwhile, the tribunes, who really hate him, are stirring the people up. They're stirring the people up into riot. And so when Coriolanus goes to try and speak to the people to put things right, he makes things worse. He makes things so much worse that he gets banished. He is banished from Rome, which is just terrible. For all the things he did, he's just insulted by this. This is, how dare you banish me, I banish you. Which is kind of a hollow thing because they've already banished him, and so, you know. But he goes, much like Achilles sulking in his tent, and he goes to the Volscians. So he goes into banishment and goes to the other Italian kingdom, the Volscians, where he goes to Aufidius and humbles himself, offers his services to Aufidius as a general in his army, because he would rather wring Rome's neck or be killed by Aufidius than let such an insult go. More or less, he makes the Nero-type threat that I wish Rome had one neck that I might hack it through. Now there was a loony. Okay, that may possibly count against my belief in the monarchy, but still, that's only one. Nevertheless, he goes to Aufidius, and this one's actually quite a short play. Really, I don't see why they would have would have been so very surprised that he made a rubbish politician. Because really, it'd be like asking my brother cousin Aries to be a politician. I mean, are you kidding me? Aries, he can barely speak. Like really, honestly, he can barely speak. He like yells orders and he grunts. But I don't think I have ever once held a real conversation with my brother Aries. No. I've seen him at dinner. I've seen him at dinner when I've been upstairs with my mother, but no, I don't think he can even speak properly. He's quite, not a politician. That's why they gave that job to Athena. They gave that one to Athena because she can talk nicely. She's quite martial, but she can at least talk nicely. Aries, I don't think he can even talk properly. But by the by. So, Coriolanus goes, he's at the head of the army of the Voscans, and the tribunes are in Rome, and they're like pretty good about themselves. Ha, we got rid of Coriolanus, we're feeling pretty good. It's all great. And then, oh yeah, big ass army on your doorstep, led by Coriolanus. How secure you feeling now? And so the general has been to try and talk to Coriolanus out of invading the country. No use. Menelaus, old friend, very old friend, almost a father to Caius, goes to try and talk him out of invading the city. But no avail. No avail. Finally, Coriolanus's wife and his mother and his little son come to the enemy camp. 2 women and a small child into a huge military camp in great personal danger to this, to beg Coriolanus not to invade the country. Please don't invade the country. Our city, please don't invade our city. And so Coriolanus, who's always done everything his mother says, always, giant mama's boy, in that he's very much like Hephaestus. He's a giant mama's boy. That's how he became lame, He wasn't born lame. That's not really possible. But when his mother, Auntie Hera, was having a, spat about Hercules, and Father Uncle Zeus chained her up by her wrists, which was very painful, and Hephaestus tried to help her, but he couldn't, and Father Zeus picked him up and chucked him off Olympus. Well, he got a bit broken up at the bottom of the sea, but he was all right in the end. Besides, Auntie Hera decided to marry him off to Aphrodite. Don't know what poor old Aphrodite did deserve marrying my ugly brother, but that was supposedly to make all well. But what a mama's boy he is. He is total mama's boy. Also, she's got 2 sons, and neither of them are particularly nice. Ares, who grunts at everything, and Hephaestus, who, well, frankly, he bumped us on the list, and when he comes down here, it's nothing but butt crack. Not good. We're still waiting for the furnace to be fixed. Stupid, play with the thermostat. Broke everything. Anyway, Coriolanus gives in to his mother and tells the Voscans that there is a new deal with Rome that's very, very beneficial, and the Romans celebrate Voluma's triumph over her son, and the Voscans are happy-ish with the settlement. Even the people of the Voscans are, although they don't like Coriolanus, they are still quite happy to have him back. However, Ophidius is incredibly jealous of what has happened. He's very angry that he was not able to destroy Rome as he had intended, and he was exceptionally angry that Coriolanus gave in over some women's tears. And so Ophidius, in spite of the fact that everybody else is happy with the outcome, he kills Coriolanus. He kills Coriolanus with some friends, and Coriolanus, he really should have invaded the city. He really should have. He shouldn't have given in. Well, he shouldn't have done everything his mother told him to do. That was a mistake. But yes, he gave in and he got killed. So there's Coriolanus. It's not really one of the big great plays. It's not really, it hasn't got a huge amount of plot. It's not like Hamlet last week. It's not like our next one. Well, firstly, I would certainly tell you that Volumnia will end up in the circle of the proud. You remember what the proud do? Yeah, they're cleaning up. So they will end up there. She would end up there because I don't think Coriolanus is really the tragic hero of this. He's not the villain. He's just completely out of his depth in terms of what he was expected to do. But next time I see you, we're going to be doing one of my favourites, the absolute tragedy of Richard III. So, until we meet again, bye-bye.